On September 11, 2025, Bethan Hardison, activist, asked Yara Shahidi, activist, in a Forbes interview on how she felt about her world right now. Yara answered honestly by saying she's terrified and would like a plan to fix it. I empathize, in that no one should live in fear. In my opinion, this sounds like a plea for help. I want to help, but how? When Yara Shahidi was younger, she did an equality speech on October 19, 2018 at the Gleason Respect Awards. I argue this speech is the hypothesis to fix her world and reduce her fear. In April 2024, I published my book on Amazon based on this hypothesis, showing that prevention will lead to equity and that equity will lead to equality. This hypothesis will fix the political, economic, and social problems in her world and our world. This non-profit, non-edited channel is a letter to Yara Shahidi in teaching Yara's hypothesis to the public in order to better our world. In the end, Yara Shahidi will get the Nobel Peace Prize for her hypothesis. Dear Yara Shahidi, Chapter 4, The Equality Conversation. As I mentioned before, my niece believes her future is bleak at best. Why, you may ask? Well, this is where the bet started. On Wednesday, July 31st, 2019, at 12:03 p.m., not edited, my niece and I had a 2-hour conversation about the issues that mattered to her future and to her generation. In a room stuck for 2 hours, my niece and I were in 2 solid blue folding chairs, staring at a Samsung Chromebook Plus laptop. We were both facing a wheat oak double pedestal desk that was 68.25 inches wide, with the laptop squarely on it 4 feet off the ground. We were both in a 10-foot by 10-foot bedroom converted into a study. On the left of us was a 6-foot by 3-foot window with the shades drawn because it keeps the heat out while maintaining a cool temperature as the air conditioner blasted the room. On the right of us was a 7-foot typical white door with the room bare with 4 white walls and no furniture. My parents were disputing on what to put into this room besides a desk. I have been researching and writing this paper for a year now, and this room is still the same as it was on July 31st, 2019. My parents are really stubborn people. Within our conversation with each other on July 31st, we discussed numerous equality topics, from everything from the environment, racism, equality for all, the end of poverty, ending abortion, and God. It was a long, enduring conversation. It would have lasted longer, but my father came in at 2:08 p.m. with a slideshow about his experience in the Navy in Vietnam. Once the conversation turned to Vietnam and then to my birthday, then the conversation about equality for all was over for that day. The reason for my niece's pessimistic outlook for the future is the history she has learned from school. History is my niece's favorite subject, and she would love to be a professor at one of the universities here in Oregon. When my niece reads about history and then reads the news on social media, she believes not much has changed. She's afraid that there are too many unresolved issues that other generations have tried and failed to solve, involving social, economic, and political equalities throughout the years. For example, she has read about the poverty-stricken countries in the past and how the rich exploit the poor to get even richer. In her opinion, this practice is still done today. Another example of what she has read was the warming of the planet. In the past, plans were made to curb global warming, but she feels that the planet is still warming and that there haven't been any good plans to cool it down. Lastly, she also sees that racism was a big deal in the past through her readings, and it still haunts the United States today. She has read about incarcerations, police brutality, and the lack of upward mobility for a lot of minority groups. In her opinion, these struggles will not be dealt with by her generation or future generations either. These issues will not be these issues will not be solved because my niece believes they are so entrenched in the human consciousness. Well, after our conversation on July 31st, my niece and I tried to get back together to talk again, but life gets in the way. For example, she has her super hot boyfriend who takes a lot of her time. My niece made me write that about her boyfriend in a text, mind you. She got tired of me typing out boyfriend and wanted to tell the world in this paper about her super hot boyfriend. God. Also, she moved away to school and started a new job as a teacher's assistant. With me, I started a new job in fast food. In retrospect, I didn't get to see much of my niece over the next year, but I texted her and sent her pages of my paper concerning our bet. Just a reminder, all the conversations in this paper were done from text. I gave them an emotional undertone because I know my niece so well. Indigestion. This text conversation started because... I gave them an emotional undertone because I know my niece so well. Indigestion. Not edited! Sorry. This text conversation started because my niece was tired of reading all the detail I had put into the paper so far. It was funny, so I put it in the paper. Are you done describing everything? My niece asks. I am laying down the foundation for this paper by describing who we are and what we are all about, I said. This will show why we are doing this bet. This paper is like my hair from 1995, short and in a buzz cut, but not very impressive. Now my hair is grown out into a magnificent mullet. I have to guide the audience in detail. If I get it right, this paper will be a magnificent mullet so that everyone can be impressed by what is going on, I responded sarcastically. You have a giant bald spot on the top of your head, she recountered. Sorry. You have a giant bald spot on the top of your head, she recounters laughing. It is not a bald spot, but a place for my crown to impress the ladies. I snarkily replied, ha 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 ha. The only woman you'll get with your balding mullet is an aging Billy Ray Cyrus fan from 1992, she tells me, giggling. Wow, how did you know that? I asked, astonished. My mom is old, and she listened to that song My mom is old, and she listened to that song all the time when I was growing up, she plainly explained. That is a smart comeback. Well done, as I complimented her. I love trash talking with people because you can have the most creative comebacks that can surprise you. I am sometimes astonished what people can think of to defend themselves in trash talk or what they have to say to you on the spot. My niece is a person like me who loves to trash talk. She practices with her boyfriend and with me any chance she gets. She gets most of her trash talking from her mother, who is really good at it. The trash talking is all in fun in my family until it gets too serious. When it gets this serious or somebody's feelings get hurt, you always apologize. In my family of trash talking, there are 4 basic rules. The first rule is to compliment the person when they get the best of you. The second rule is to apologize if it gets too serious, as told before. The third rule is to let the other person win once in a while if you are too dominant. The last rule is to have fun, and the sky is the limit on creativity. So, ich ni san shi go kuju konnichiwa. La Lune, oui, hola, buenos dias, adios, we all win together, de nada.